Hi there! I hope that didn't scare you as much as it scared him. Working hours don't end without stopping, and the extreme fatigue and sleeplessness that follow can cause hallucinations like the one you just witnessed. This poor fellow here is a victim of the overworking phenomenon in Japan that's been causing issues for decades. In Japan, the working culture values productivity, and as a result, many people turn workaholic to a point that is fatal. Due to social pressure and personal goals, many people work excessive hours to the point of death from cerebral or cardiac diseases. This is referred to as karoshi in Japan. It is also associated with mental stress that leads to depression and even suicide. Karoshi is not just a national problem, it takes roots in South Korea and China as well, but it's more prominent in Japan. Let's see how the issue is impacting the country right now. The first case of karoshi was reported back in 1969, and although it originated from Japan, it also impacts other countries such as China and South Korea. Since the first report, the number of cases has been increasing over the last several decades. The number of reported cases is around a few hundred to about 1,000, but it is estimated that about 10,000 workers die from karoshi annually in Japan, and the number reaches as high as 600,000 in China. The main cause of karoshi is excessive work hours. Since Japan's bubble economy collapsed in the 1990s, companies cut workers but not workload. From this graph, you can see the annual work hours of several countries. Japan has been consistently ranking high. It has recently decreased to about the same level as the US and the UK, yet they're the only one facing this severe problem. Known as karoshi, victims must have worked more than 100 hours of overtime in the month before their death, or 80 hours of overtime in 2 or more consecutive months in the previous 6 months. About 23% of the companies in Japan reported that their workers worked over 80 hours of overtime each month, and 12% replied that some of their employees clocked more than 100 hours. Health issues associated with overworking include heart attacks, stroke, depression, etc. Some die directly from the physical illnesses, others choose to commit suicide, a term called karoshi satsu. On news platforms, people can often hear the news about victims such as this one about Mr. Yagi. Mr. Yagi, who worked over 70 hours a week at an advertising agency and spends 3.5 hours a day in commuting, died from a heart attack at the age of 43. He observed that the modern Japanese workers were under more inhumane conditions than slaves. In his personal diary, he wrote, "We are bought by money and bound to the hours. At least slaves must have had time to eat meals with their families." Japan's extreme working culture can bring pain and suffering for many people.
非常に精神的に追い詰められていまして、で、朝ベッドから起きるのが本当に一苦労でした。
And their loved ones.
私は最愛の一人息子を仕事で亡くしました。4年半前、2006年の1月、息子は過労死いたしました。
Prime Minister of Japan Shinzo Abe is now trying to place a cap on the overtime hours a worker can log in a month. He is hoping to decrease the percentage of employees working more than 60 hours per week to 5% and to convince them to take at least 70% of their paid holiday by 2020. A law in 2014 aiming to prevent karoshi deaths was not successful because the work values were already deeply embedded in the Japanese culture. It will probably be difficult for their efforts to succeed this time as well. Here are a few ways you can help. Start this hashtag on any form of social media. Sign this petition that will help lessen the hours of Japanese workers and gain awareness from the government. Donate to the Japan Organization of Occupational Health and Safety, as well as spread this poster with all the links in public and on social media.